Hi, I'm Bob Loeffler with Fearless Agent Coaching and Training. Wanted to just cover something with you today that I think is going to make it a lot easier for you to get listings that are priced right, saleable, that kind of stuff. So when you're on the phone scheduling an appointment, you've made a prospecting call, they said, yes, we're thinking about selling our house, you've scheduled the appointment. One way you can really help yourself is set that appointment up for success. And one of the elements, there's about 6 elements to that, but one of them is what I call the $1 million question. Now, what I did is I had a little sheet and I had 2 columns of questions that I would ask people about their house so I could do a ballpark market analysis. But at the end of one column, I would have the question, the seller's price opinion. I want to know what they think their house is worth before I show up. So I would ask them, what kind of fence do you have and all that kind of stuff. They're in the habit of answering questions. And then think, if you ask somebody, how much do you think your house is worth? Is their answer going to be a number that's a little too low? No, it's going to be a little too high, isn't it? So I changed it to the $1 million question. So I just start asking them the questions and I'd say, let me ask you this. If you were going to win $1 million by guessing correctly, what price realistically do you think a buyer would pay for your house? And that is a completely different question with a completely different answer. And when they answer it, they're almost always right. So the problem is they don't always answer it. Mostly they say, I don't know. And then you, of course, because you're a fearless agent, will say, well, if you did know, what would the answer be? And they say $159,215.19 because they know, right? Now, every once in a while, they'll do this thing where they say, well, the guy down the street, he sold his house 8 years ago for blah, blah, blah. And then you just wait for that to die down and you say, oh, okay. Well, if you were going to win $1 million by guessing correctly, what price realistically do you think a buyer would pay for your house? And then they might say, well, the guy behind me, he's got his house for sale right now and he's asking blah, blah, blah. And then you say, oh, okay. Well, if you were going to win $1 million by guessing correctly, what price realistically do you think a buyer would pay for your house? And then every once in a while they do this thing where they say, hey, gee, Bob, you're the agent. Aren't you supposed to tell me that? And I say, look, this is a mental health quiz. I want to find out if you're nuts before I show up. So what's the answer, right? So anyway, gang, I hope that helps your cause. Always get the $1 million question answered before you go, and that's how you become a fearless agent. Thanks.